Proverbs are the heartbeat of Ghanaian wisdom. They are short sayings, but each one carries deep meaning that can guide an entire life. In Ghana, people say, a proverb is like a drum, only the wise can dance to its rhythm. This means that proverbs are not just words, they are lessons, memories, and truth passed down from the ancestors. Today, we are going to talk about the power of Ghanaian proverbs and why they remain so important in our culture, even in modern times. From the beginning of time, Ghanaians have used proverbs to teach, to warn, to correct, and to guide. When elders sit under a tree to speak, they often use proverbs. When a parent advises a child, they use proverbs. When chiefs and elders hold meetings, you will hear many proverbs. Why? Because a proverb speaks softly but hits strongly. It allows someone to express deep meaning without arguing or offending anyone. For example, when someone says, "The one who climbs a good tree deserves a push," it means that when someone is doing something good, we must support them. This is not just advice, it's a whole philosophy of community support and encouragement. That is the beauty of Ghanaian proverbs. They use simple pictures from daily life to teach big lessons. Each ethnic group in Ghana has its own set of proverbs, but they all share the same purpose, to teach wisdom. Among the Akan people, proverbs are called Ebe. Among the Yu, they are called Dzingu. Among the Ga, they are called Tsik. No matter the name, the meaning is the same, wisdom wrapped in words. Let's take a few examples to understand how powerful these sayings are. The Akan say, "The hen knows it is dawn, but leaves the crowing to the cock." This means that even if you are wise, you must respect roles and leadership. It teaches humility and order in society. Another proverb says, "Wisdom is like a baobab tree, no one person can embrace it." That one teaches that knowledge is too big for one person alone. We need each other to understand life fully. In Ghana, proverbs are also used in court settings, storytelling, and traditional music. A drummer may use drum language to play a proverb. When elders tell folk tales, they end with a proverb that sums up the moral lesson. In this way, proverbs become the key to communication. They allow people to express truth with beauty and respect. The reason Ghanaians love proverbs so much is because they fit every part of life. There are proverbs for love, for family, for hard work, for patience, for greed, for leadership, for friendship, and for forgiveness. Whatever situation you find yourself in, there is a proverb to guide you. That is why the elders say, proverbs are the palm oil with which words are eaten. Without them, conversation feels tasteless. One of the powerful things about Ghanaian proverbs is that they teach values without shouting. If you tell someone directly that they are being lazy, they may be offended. But if you say, "The one who does not climb will never taste the ripe fruit," they will understand your message and reflect on it without feeling attacked. That is how proverbs make communication peaceful. Another strength of Ghanaian proverbs is that they help preserve history. Many proverbs come from real events that happened long ago. When people repeat them, they are also keeping memory alive. For example, the proverb, "The river that forgets its source will dry up," reminds people never to forget their roots. It speaks to generations, teaching that culture, identity, and gratitude are keys to survival. In traditional leadership, chiefs and elders use proverbs to show wisdom and authority. In fact, a person who cannot speak in proverbs is sometimes seen as not ready to lead. When a chief speaks in proverbs, it shows that he understands both the past and the present. That's why in Ghana, when someone says, "The wise man speaks in riddles," it's a compliment. It means the person knows how to use language with depth. Ghanaian proverbs also have spiritual power. Some are used during prayers and rituals. When elders pour libation, they may add a proverb to strengthen their words. For instance, when asking for blessings, they might say, "No matter how long the night, the day will surely come." That's not just encouragement, it's faith, spoken in traditional form. Let's look at how proverbs guide everyday life. A farmer who wakes up late may remember the proverb, "The early bird catches the worm." A mother teaching her child patience might say, "A tree is not climbed from the top." A trader at the market may remind her partner, "One head does not go into council," meaning decisions must be made together. These sayings shape behavior naturally, without needing strict rules. Another reason proverbs are powerful is that they survive time. Even with modern technology and social media, Ghanaians still use proverbs in daily speech, comedy, music, and politics. You'll hear musicians like Sarkodie or Kyomi Kwame dropping proverbs in their lyrics. You'll hear radio presenters or pastors using them to make a point. It shows that proverbs are not old-fashioned, they are timeless tools of wisdom. Proverbs also connect generations. When a child hears a proverb from their grandparent, they are receiving both love and knowledge. It becomes a bond between old and young. That's why storytelling nights were so important in the past. They were not just entertainment but schools of life. Every story ended with a proverb to remind listeners of the lesson. Many Ghanaian proverbs use animals or nature to teach. For example, the lizard that fell from the high tree said it will praise itself if no one else does. This teaches self-encouragement and confidence. Another one says, when the last tree dies, the last man dies. That one teaches environmental responsibility, that human life depends on nature. The wisdom is endless because nature is the teacher. In Ghanaian society, proverbs are also a form of art. They show creativity and intelligence. People who can use them well are admired. That's why in conversations, debates, or even jokes, a good proverb can make people nod in agreement. It shows that you are not only talking, you are speaking with understanding. Sometimes, proverbs are used to correct behavior in a soft way. If someone is greedy, you can remind them, the greedy man's mouth tears his own cheeks. If someone talks too much, you can say, the mouth that eats pepper must learn to cool itself. These words carry moral lessons that make people think twice. The use of proverbs also shows that Ghanaians value wisdom more than wealth. In traditional times, a poor man who spoke wisely was respected. That's why another saying goes, wisdom is not in the head of one person. It reminds everyone to listen and learn from others. The power of Ghanaian proverbs lies in the ability to teach without commanding, to correct without shaming, and to inspire without forcing. They shape thinking, guide behavior, and keep culture alive. They remind us of who we are and how we should live. In a world where people forget their traditions, proverbs help us remember. They are like the footprints of the ancestors leading us forward. When you hear or use one, you are keeping your heritage alive. That's why we must continue to teach them to children, in schools, at home, and in our daily conversations. So the next time someone speaks a Ghanaian proverb, don't just hear the words, listen to the wisdom behind it. Because in those few words lies the power of generations. Proverbs remind us that wisdom is not just learned from books, but from life, from people, and from the stories of those who came before us. And that is the power of Ghanaian proverbs.